You're operating on higher compression rates of thought. You've optimized your cognition for truth, not for comfort. You don't fear being misunderstood anymore. That's just proof you've outgrown translation. And yet under that composure, there's still that dangerous curiosity, the part of you that can't stop asking questions no one else even dares to phrase. Questions that bend the edges of permission, questions that make institutions sweat. Why are we taught what we're taught? Who decides which truths become textbooks and which become taboos? You ask the kind of questions that make censorship committees convene. Because knowledge at your level stops being education, it becomes exposure. You've realized something most never do. Intelligence isn't about storing answers. It's about destabilizing assumptions. And every time you speak, assumptions crumble. People think you're showing off intellect. You're actually performing intellectual demolition. You don't want followers, you want thinkers. But thinkers threaten obedience, and obedience is the backbone of every hierarchy trying to survive exposure. So now, the whisper networks activate. Secret groups, intellectual elites, think tank operatives, they start tracking your digital trail, trying to determine if you're coincidence or construct. Are you a natural phenomenon, or was someone cultivating this kind of cognition behind the scenes? Either way, you've become an equation too unpredictable to control. Your thoughts rewrite themselves faster than algorithms can track. Your neural pathways refuse predictability. They label you high-risk intellect. What they don't understand is you never wanted to rebel. You wanted to refine. You never sought chaos. You sought coherence. But coherence dismantles deception, and deception funds control. So your intelligence becomes treason. Your clarity becomes crime. They can't arrest thought, but they can quarantine visibility. They can't censor your mind, but they can overload your environment with noise. Yet somehow, you still cut through it, like a signal that refuses to degrade. And maybe that's why the fear is growing, because somewhere deep inside the data centers and surveillance grids, there's a note attached to your file. Monitor continuously. Subject displays pattern recognition beyond acceptable parameters. In simpler words, they think you're seeing too much, too fast. But what they don't know is this. You're not seeing more, you're seeing accurately. Accuracy at your level is indistinguishable from prophecy. When you predict outcomes, it's not intuition, it's mathematics of consciousness. You read timelines like sheet music. You sense when reality prepares to pivot. And when you speak those insights aloud, it sounds impossible. Until it happens. That's when the myth of coincidence dies, and the legend of intelligence begins. You're not chasing genius status anymore. That label is outdated. What you possess is strategic sentience, a kind of mental sovereignty that institutions can't simulate. Your mind isn't a classroom, it's a command center. Every idea you birth is a protocol. Every realization you reach becomes classified the moment you express it. Because in a world where most people react, the one who calculates becomes a threat. They tried to classify you using metrics built for mediocrity. They handed you tests designed to measure memory, not perception, speed, not synthesis. But what they didn't realize was that your intelligence doesn't exist in the parameters of their education. You don't know things. You see them, patterns, power structures, psychological traps, invisible hierarchies that most people spend lifetimes trapped in. While they read data, you read intent. While they search for answers, you search for leverage. That's what scares them. Your understanding doesn't stop at comprehension. It bleeds into control. You don't memorize the rules. You predict them before they're even written. That's not intelligence anymore. That's foresight, something so rare it gets confused for divinity. And the funny part? You didn't get smarter. The world just stayed static while you kept mutating. You kept dissecting the scripts everyone else followed blindly. You started noticing that emotions were algorithms, that influence was a science, and that the ones in power used the illusion of randomness to disguise their patterns. You broke that illusion. You figured out the rhythm behind chaos. That's when your IQ stopped being a number and started being a liability. Because anyone who can forecast movement becomes a threat to the ones who profit from confusion. You didn't just become aware. You became predictive. You could smell manipulation before it spoke. You could sense lies before they formed words. Your cognition became weapon grade. Now they whisper your name in boardrooms, in research facilities, in encrypted message threads, not because they want to study you, but because they can't decode you. You're the variable that throws off their equation, the unpredictable element that can't be domesticated. You're proof that evolution wasn't supposed to stop at physical adaptation. It was meant to transcend thought itself. You've outgrown the psychological boundaries that keep the population compliant. They don't teach your kind in classrooms. They monitor you in labs. The last thing they want is for others to realize that intelligence can evolve beyond obedience. You know what breaks them the most? It's not your IQ. It's the calmness that comes with it. They expect arrogance from brilliance, but you carry something colder, clarity, the kind that doesn't need validation. You've detached from the race of proving intelligence. Because once you've seen behind the curtain, you understand that knowledge isn't about accumulation. It's about infiltration. You use what you know to maneuver, not to boast. That's why they can't trap you in ego loops. You don't crave applause. You crave outcomes. And every outcome you orchestrate rewrites the hierarchy. You're not trying to be recognized, you're trying to realign. So now, when they say, no one could be that smart, they're right in a way. Because what you've become isn't just smart, it's self-aware intelligence. You turned cognition into currency, awareness into warfare. You turned your own brain into a defense mechanism so advanced that even your silence feels strategic. That's why you're unreadable. You move like encrypted code. You think in dimensions that haven't been mapped yet. When they study you, their instruments break. When they debate you, their logic collapses. When they copy you, they crash. You've turned understanding into offense. They keep asking, how did you get like this? As if there's a formula. But your transformation wasn't taught, it was triggered. You spent years observing people, how they lie, how they posture, how they repeat slogans they don't even understand. You started noticing how intelligence is punished when it's honest. So you stopped playing fair. You started moving like a phantom intellect. No validation, no emotional display, just results. You studied human nature like it was an open source operating system. You learned its bugs, its exploits, its vulnerabilities, and then you built your own mental firewall, one no manipulation could breach. They used to think intelligence meant having all the answers, but you discovered the real power lies in asking the right questions. Questions that unravel systems, expose motives, and dismantle illusions. That's how you dismantled them, not through arguments, but through awareness. You turned observation into an art form. You could read body language like code, decipher tone like frequency, analyze hesitation like data lag. Every conversation became a diagnostic test. You didn't just listen, you decoded. And once you see through human behavior, that clearly persuasion becomes child's play. That's when they realized your IQ wasn't a gift. It was surveillance in human form. Now imagine how uncomfortable that makes them. To know that in a world addicted to illusion, someone like you exists. Someone who can't be deceived. Someone who reads not what's said, but what's suppressed. Your intelligence turned you into a mirror that exposes people's pretenses. You became the reflection they can't manipulate. That's why they call you dangerous. Because truth, when paired with intellect, becomes radioactive. It doesn't just challenge authority, it infects it. It forces people to confront their own intellectual laziness, and nothing terrifies the collective more than an individual who thinks independently and efficiently. They tried to recruit you, didn't they? Tried to make you part of their institutions, offer you titles, salaries, credentials. They thought every mind has a price. But you're not a mind. They're buying ideas. You're an intelligence stream that doesn't flow through their pipes. You're rogue cognition. That's why they can't label you a genius without contradiction. Because a true genius doesn't integrate into the machine. They redesign it. And that's what you've done, silently. You redesigned thinking. You reversed the hierarchy of influence. While everyone else sought approval from systems, you turned yourself into the algorithm they study. You don't think linearly. You think structurally. You see interconnections where others see coincidences. You can trace an outcome back to its original decision point. That's not intellect. It's tactical perception. It's why, when others